Hello, 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 hello. Happy Thursday. Happy thoughtful, thankful Thursday. Let us know what you're thankful for. Tell us what thoughts you're having today. Positive thoughts, of course. Positive thoughts, of course. And look, if you have some negative thoughts, listen, listen. If you got some negative thoughts, go look at go look at some positive words. Okay, look at some positive words of encouragement. Some negative thoughts going. It's hard to get those negative thoughts out of your mind. Right? It's hard to get those negative thoughts out of your mind. So just think of some positive things. Think of some positive things about yourself, about your family, about your job. You know, you can try your you can it's easy to let the negative thoughts creep in, right? But you have to make it easy to find something positive to think about. Look, you see that grass? Look at how green that grass is. Now it's not green all the way through and through because it is fall right now. But look at that grass and think green. Think green money. Okay? Find it's nothing negative about the grass, but when you can, take the smallest thing and find something really positive about it. Okay? There's nothing negative about that grass. I guess if you could say that there's something negative, it's the fact that some of it is starting to turn brown, and that's not the color that makes it pretty. But listen, you can look at this green grass and see the parts that are turning brown, and you can think, you know what, just like that grass is going to bounce back and become green again, whatever negative thoughts that you have going on, some positive thoughts are going to bounce back, right? And after a while, that just like that green is going to overtake any brown that you see. Your positive thoughts can overtake any negative thoughts that you have. Okay? So sometimes we just got to think of things in kind of weird and strange ways. That's okay. That's all right. Because it'll be all right. Sometimes you just got to think of some things. You take something and you make it work for you. So if you're having some negative thoughts, find something simple, something easy, something maybe even a little bit silly to try to help you turn those negative thoughts into positive thoughts. Now, if you're going through some negative things, positive thoughts might not change it, right? It may not change the things that you're going through, but they can kind of help to relieve some of the stress of the situations that you're going through. They can kind of help to relieve some of the stress from the situations that you're going through. Just thinking positively. And thank you for that thumbs up. I appreciate you. And for those that came through for the first couple of minutes, thank you, thank you, thank you. Happy, thoughtful, thankful Thursday. What thoughts are you having? You know what? You don't have to tell your thoughts. Just know that if you're having negative thoughts, try your hardest, try your darndest, try your best to turn them into positive thoughts. Into positive thoughts. And be thankful. Be thankful for whatever you have. Even though you may be going through something right now, you can still be thankful for your family. You can still be thankful for your job. You can still be thankful that whatever it is that you're going through, you're pushing, and you're making it through. You're trying your hardest, you're trying your best to make it through. So on this thankful, thoughtful Thursday, don't let the bad thoughts overtake your mind, okay? We walk for fitness. We exercise daily. All right. But over here in Lions Pride, when I get done exercising, I come on here and go live, and we walk for fitness. But it's not just physical fitness, it's emotional fitness, mental fitness, spiritual fitness. Okay? It's holistic. It's holistic. It's holistic. We're walking to encompass. It encompasses all of those things. That's what we're walking for. Those are the things that we're walking for. To relieve stress, to increase our energy levels. Those are the things that we're walking for. For cardiovascular fitness, Some people are walking to lose weight. Some are walking to get to relieve stress. Some are walking to get those numbers down, maybe that blood pressure, cholesterol, blood glucose. People have many, many reasons for walking, exercising. But at the end of the day, it's all about your overall mental, emotional, physical, spiritual health and fitness. Your health and fitness are your wealth. Your health and fitness are your wealth. We just got off of the elliptical and the treadmill. We just did some upper body today. It felt good. It did. It felt good. It always feels good to get up and exercise. Let me tell you, sometimes you gotta push yourself. Sometimes you're not really motivated to do it. But look, push, 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 and the motivation will happen. Just push. Even when you're not motivated, push yourself anyway. Push yourself anyway. And the more you push yourself to do it, hopefully the more motivated you will become. So I want you guys to look at the legs move. Watch the legs move. Continue to email me for the other channels links. But as far as Lions Pride goes, watch the legs move. Watch the legs move. Hopefully they will motivate you, encourage you to get up and move your legs, your arms, your body. Move your body, work your body. Make sure you don't hurt your body. Keep moving. Keep moving. You want to be consistent and be persistent. Be consistent and persistent about it. Consistency counts. Consistency matters. You want to be consistent and you want to be persistent about it. If you can walk and talk, that's great. Shows your level of fitness. But if it bothers you to do that, don't do it. You're going to get a little winded because you're moving. You're actively moving. Even machines that we build, they wear out. But what do? We oil them. We do maintenance on them, right? We do maintenance on them. So sometimes you have to do maintenance on your body. If you get tired, don't talk. You're going to get a little winded because you're talking, right? You're moving a little bit faster than you normally do. But that's just a part of the exercise. But if you get uncomfortably winded, you need to stop talking. Because the important part is to move. The walking is the most important part. Some people don't like to talk when they walk. Some people do. And even those of us who do, sometimes we just want some silence. But we just want to walk with you and you walk with us. And you don't just have to walk, right? I tell you guys how many things every day that you can do? About 10 to 15 different things you can do. Besides your walking. You want to walk upright so that those lungs can get in that oxygen, right? You want to walk upright. Even walking has a proper form, right? You want to use those glutes when you're walking, especially if you have joint issues. Let those glutes help you. You want to keep moving when the traffic stops you and start right back. And this is a great time of year to be outside. Again, walking isn't the be-all, be-all, but it is a great place to start. Because you can jog, you can skip, you can run, you can jump rope, you can dance, you can walk in place, you can walk around your home if it's not too hot or not too cold. Even when it's hot or cold, you can do that because you're right there near your home. If you get too hot or you get too cold, just go inside. You can walk around the block. You can ride your bicycle. You can ride your stationary bicycle. If you ride your bicycle, make sure you throw on that helmet and those pads. Do some laps around your block, right? Around the perimeter of your home again. Around, you can walk laps around the biggest room of your home. You can walk laps around your garage. You can walk laps around your home. You can walk laps around every room of your home. Just get in some cardiovascular fitness. For those who work in their gardens and stuff like that, you're moving, right? You're moving. That's what's important. You're moving. Especially when you spend quality time working in the garden. Quality time. So you're getting in some cardiovascular fitness even that way. You can swim, jump rope, play tennis. That stop and go is no joke. Play basketball. That stop and run. It all helps with that cardiovascular, right? Stop and go, that stop and go, that stop and run, that stop and run. It helps with the cardiovascular health, right? So that's what we want to do on this Thankful, Thoughtful Thursday. I hope that you guys have already done your exercise for today. If you haven't, get up and do it now. We'll be on here for at least 30 minutes. So get up and do it now. Get up and do it now. Get up and do that. It's something that's good for you. It's positive. You know, I saw a lady today. She was so negative. Such a negative person. And instead of getting up doing something positive for herself, she was talking about what somebody else is or isn't doing. We got to stop that. We got to stop worrying so much about what somebody else is or isn't doing. Number one, if you don't have to spend your money and to take care of a person, why are you so thoughtful towards what they're doing? See, sometimes we're thoughtful in a negative way. So we want to be thoughtful in a good, positive way. If you're not married to this person's husband, along with that person or that person's wife, along with him, why do you care what their spouse is doing? Why does it matter so much to you that you can get on a social media platform and talk about that in the most derogatory way? Why is it that you can compare two people who are totally different, make and see them in the same light? And when all actuality, and I'm just gonna say this in all honesty, both of them running laps around you. To be honest, both of them running laps around you. So stop having such negative thoughts about other people. Even if you don't agree with the people, even if you don't get along with the people, I have always been taught and told, if you can't get along, right? If you cannot get along, move on and get along. There is nothing wrong with, if somebody has pissed you off to the highest degree of pissivity, why would you want to continue to interact with them? Why would you want to talk about them, whether you think they're doing good, bad, or indifferent? Why would you want to have their name in your mouth? And why would you want your name in theirs? And the best way for most logical people, those who think logically, the best way to keep your name out of somebody's mouth is if you keep their name out of your mouth, right? Right. I cannot believe that I watched someone that is about to turn 60 years old or almost 60 years old have such negative, so many negative opinions. That, hey, how y'all doing? Pretty good. Okay, I had to talk to the guy. So my thing is, why is she sitting over there? And see, that's what a lot of people like. They like to talk about each other badly. Well, if you get into it with somebody, you get into it with somebody. That's it, that's all. It should be fair. If it's one-on-one, it should be one-on-one. It should be fair. But you know, on social media, you have chats and everything. Sometimes somebody else in the chat will take up the gauntlet, and just want to, continue to talk bad about a person too, whoever the content creator is that they like. That's so crazy to me. Okay, you're doing it in the chat, but you know the reason that they do that type of stuff? When their views are low, when they aren't bringing in the money, because if someone needs protecting, it's different when you got 3, 4, 5 people going at a person. Yes, yes, someone needs to be boisterous and speak up. But when it's one-on-one, such as a situation that's going on probably every day, why do so many other people have to have an opinion? Why do so many other people have to have something to say about it? And then the sad part about it is, what they have to say is so nasty. It's just derogatory. It's uncalled for and unnecessary. And they swear up and down they aren't jealous. But at the end of the day, I've always been taught by parents, grandparents, teachers, you know, anybody. I've learned that when people keep talking about you like that, there's some envy and jealousy somewhere. There is. And it's a lot. Especially if they can go weeks and weeks without speaking about you, and then they come back right around and you haven't done anything to them. Now, there was a situation this morning where you got somebody that claims they want to speak up and talk up for somebody. They're coming at somebody that I consider a sister, somebody that I know personally. So it's so strange to me that she'll come at her, but you got another whole group of people talking about that same person. My friend is just responding to the BS that's said to her. So it's kind of like a one-on-one. She doesn't need her friends or her supporters to really go in on this person. They just come in the chat and they enjoy the chat. They enjoy the commentary, right? But there's a whole other group of people talking about this same person. But you got this one other third party, as you would say. She's not going to say anything to that group of people. But she wants to say something to my friend. She wants to compare my friend. Y'all, you're too old to do that when you're a teenager. But it's expected of teenagers. That's what young people do. Okay? It's expected of 20-year-olds. Okay? It's expected of any age. But what crosses the line of straight, it just makes you totally immature, is that when you become an age where that's what you do for a thrill, that's what you do to try and make money, coins. So when people say coins, they think they're saying something big. If you're making coins by talking about somebody, why not just get up and go to Walmart and work? Because from what I hear, the complaints I hear about the coins made on apps, it's like you're selling your integrity. I won't even say your soul, because I don't know how what's going on with that. But it's like you're selling your integrity for foolishness, for coins, and yes, and we're not talking about rare coins. We're not talking about coins that can set you up for retirement. We're talking about mere coins. We're talking about coins that can get you a Big Mac, maybe. So I'm just really shocked that the person that was doing this thing today, she does the exact same thing. But see, there's a difference in, if people want to say mutual combat, no. How many times do you think that a person's just going to let you just talk bad about them, and not respond? See, that's what they're waiting on. Devilish thoughts. Devilish thoughts have a strange way of coming out. So you respond after they've talked about you the umpteenth time. Then it's like you're participating. It's mutual combat. You don't respond, and they feel the need to drag you at liberty. What the heck? What the heck kind of mess is that? And it's like, when you speak rationally to this person, I'm just going to say, I'm not going to call her name, but she had a chat going. She had many people speaking logically to her. rationalizing with her, being very rational. But she couldn't take the rationalization, but because it wasn't in accordance to what she thought. She couldn't take the rationalization because it wasn't in line with what she thought. So, you know, it's sad when adults haven't mastered the art of communication, right? Because, of course, we all get into it sometimes. You know, we all get into it sometimes. People just won't let you be great. Hey, Jill. But for me to hear her talk about somebody who's doing really good on the app, she's not depending on money from the app. She has a job. Y'all, it really irks my nerves when I see unemployed people drag people who are employed. That irks me. Editing and listening. Okay, Jill. Thank you. I hope you had a happy Thursday. Hope you've been having a great week. And what? Tomorrow is Friday. Tomorrow is Friday. So for all you people who work in the offices or who have Monday through Friday jobs, it's the weekend, right? Some of you guys may be off tomorrow. Some of you may have half days tomorrow. You know, maybe getting off at noon. Some of you may work from home. So, tomorrow is Friday, but y'all know how I am. I say don't push the week. Don't rush the week. We're at ages now where we shouldn't be trying to push. We should be relishing and enjoying every day. Look at those leaves. Fall leaves. Fall leaves. Look at them. Take those leaves and make all kinds of things. It's been a rough and busy week, but I'm pushing. See? Sometimes, look, you're almost at the finish line for this week. Look, Jill, for this week. You're almost at the finish line for this week. Yes, it's been good. I was just rambling, talking about some stuff I saw today. I'm just wondering how in the heck can a person get online with a bonnet on their head and the ripe old age of 60, almost 60, if not, and talk about somebody who goes to work every day, which she doesn't. Talk about somebody who has a husband or a wife or whatever. She doesn't. Talks about somebody who has relationships with their family, and all she does is talk about how her family hates on her. And, you know, even her supporters, I know they can't be crazy. I know they be laughing at her a lot of times. But, girl, it just be so funny how people won't leave people alone. You know how I say don't let bother people bother you? She's a prime example of somebody being bothered. Bothering somebody else. Like, sometimes when you look at the people who are talking bad about you, coming at you in the wrong way, you just gotta look at them and be like, it's like you're just bamboozled. You're just like what? You know, everybody has the right to say what they want to say and talk about who they want to talk about. But sometimes you really have to just say, where do you get the nerve? Like, where do you get the nerve? First of all, there are other things that you should be more concerned about right now. But you're on here, and everybody, if they would be honest with her, even her supporters, will let her know you're talking about this other content creator because you're trying to make some coins. Your views are a little bit low. You have some things going on, but this isn't the way to make money. This isn't the way to make your money. By going to something that's about 3-4 years old now and bringing it up again, but acting like you're trying to defend somebody else. You know, these folks don't look in the mirror but stay Jill, oh my God. That is the thing. They do not look in the mirror and stay judging. And what's so funny about what happened today is there are 2 full-grown adult women. What I don't agree with is like the bandwagon bullying. Like, if you got a problem with somebody, you should have a problem with that person because it happened between you and that person. Now, if somebody else is involved, maybe it happened between 3, 4, 5 people. But when it's something that happened between you and one other person, Yes, people are entitled to their opinions about who started it, who should end it, who did the worst, who did the least. They can have their opinions, but at the end of the day, if you were big and bad enough to call somebody some names, drag people, then you're supposed to be big and bad enough to take the response, right? Okay, that's what's going on. You got two people, they're going back and forth in their own way. Nobody's been jumping in it, but then all of a sudden, you get this one who we clearly know she needs views right now. She needs coins. And she wants to put her mouth in it and just start dragging people. I'm like, where did she get the nerve? Like, who? Why? What gives you the nerves? Let's see, I just had to check someone. What? Talking about why am I crying over a competition and a misunderstanding? What? Or something like that. I was like, why? Oh my God. Gee, see, it's that. Make it make sense. Come on. I put my hard work into this and my money. What the hell you mean? Jill, look, I knew when I came in, I spoke to everybody. And see, what I don't like is sometimes people will say little stuff like, oh, I'm going to do this, but I'm going to stop. Or I'm going to do this, but I'm not going to do that. Or I'm going to do this. And I'm like, man, that's where the trouble's going to start. Eventually, the stirring of the pot is beginning in a light way. So, that when during your competition, I was at a wedding. So I didn't want to keep my earbuds in. So I really couldn't understand what was going on. And I don't even know if I didn't turn captions on. I don't even know if captions worked for that video, for that live. But I didn't want to seem like I was just like not paying attention. Because my friends were getting remarried. So to me, that was a blessing. And I wasn't going to, be like I wasn't paying attention. But I did catch parts of the people. Like, I know that the one lady that a lot of people didn't get, I liked her a lot. It was groovy to me. I could understand what people meant when they said they didn't get it. But I liked it. I was one of the ones that really liked her. So I was like, okay, what do these people think? And I saw some little comments, that weren't enough to block anybody or time them out from the part that I got. Because like I said, I didn't see all of it because I found myself listening. And now I was like, okay, I can't do this. I got these earplugs in. I want to pay attention. So, but I did see some stuff more than I heard. And I'm like, okay, when a person has put their hard work into an event. Oh, yes, thank you, Jill. They had been married, had kids, and people had opinions about that. They did it one time. It's never good the next time around. How do you know? Even though they were married with kids that are one of them is grown. How do you know? Something brought them back together. First of all, I can't say for sure, but maybe God brought them back together. Because sometimes, man do some things. Man does things and, you know how that goes. They do their own thing. But how do I know that God didn't bring them back together? They seem to be in love. And a lot of times, it's not good the second time around. But that's because a lot of times, people didn't learn anything the second time around. They knew that they still maybe loved each other, but they didn't learn how to say, okay, now, even though this is the same person I married 20 years ago and divorced 5 years ago, and the things I thought I couldn't live with and couldn't deal with, I can. And I miss. And if I was going to go through it with anybody, I wanted to be him. I wanted to be her. So we can't just put our mouths on. See, that's one reason I don't like to say certain things. Because it's like, you don't know what somebody's struggle was. You don't know what it was. And for the people that do know, all you can do, even if you don't agree with it, all you can do is wish them the best. Because at the end of the day, it's still the two of them who have to be married to each other and live together. And so to them, it was like they had started back living together and everything. And neither one of them needed the other one. You know what I'm saying? Financially, sometimes stuff like that makes you go back to a person. Neither one of them needed each other financially. They just wanted to get back together. So if they get divorced again, guess what? That means it just didn't work again, okay? You got some people who are married 2 or 3 times to 2 or 3 different people. Why not marry the same person you married before? Why not? I don't think people were that rude in the chat. Not from what I saw. I didn't see anything. That's why I was saying it was just like, just little stuff that it was just like, it was really truly its and giggles. Like truly. So it was nothing like that last time. It was nothing like that. And it wasn't enough to even make you time somebody out from what I saw. But I know that something else had happened with someone who wasn't in the chat. So, I heard about that. And I'm talking, I know what happened, but I'm not saying exactly what happened because I know that happened with your competition. So I don't want to just like talk about it, but I was just wanting to let you know that, yeah, when I came in, I said hello. Everything seemed to be going good, but I was listening with my earplugs, and then I realized, let me take these earplugs out. I'm at her wedding. So I took them out, and so I didn't catch all of it. I just caught the bits and pieces of it. And then you know how weddings are. The reception went way until 1 or 2 in the morning. So, so that was that. But after I heard, when I saw you doing the review, I was like, I was kind of, hated that something like that happened. So I don't really understand when you say that they said that you were crying about something. Like, about what? Crying about what? I didn't see anything for you to, let me make sure I read exactly what you said. Crying over a competition and a misunderstanding or something like that. See, I don't understand what was meant by that. Like, I haven't heard you complain about anything, like drastically complain about something. So, but that's what I was saying. Like, you got people who they're always going to have an opinion. We know that we're human. We have opinions. They may be popular opinions. They may not be so popular. They may, and opinions are not facts. Opinions are not facts. But what I saw today was a woman, a full grown, seasoned woman. Just, go back to some old mess that she is still ticked off about. She doesn't work. On live with a bonnet on, talking about how good she could look and how she could take somebody's husband. And we've all seen what dressed to the nines is to her. It ain't dressed to the nines to the most of us. Okay? It's not dressed to the nines to most of us. Maybe she was 1984, 85, and she's talking about dressed to the nines, maybe. But we've seen her when she says dressed to the nines, and that ain't it. It ain't it. So she wasn't going to be taking nobody's husband. She wasn't going to be taking nobody's leftovers. Okay? Oh, wait a minute. I didn't get a notification that you were live today. This happened today on a... Wait a minute, was it another live of yours, or was it just somewhere else altogether? So I'm like, and I don't do all that tagging people and, stuff like that. Because a lot of times people like, oh, I ain't scared to do this. I ain't scared to tag. Maybe you're not scared to tag, but it's sometimes foolish to tag. Like, go to your channel, say how you feel, and leave it be. When you start to tagging people and stuff like that, you want drama. You want controversy. You want an argument. And see, a lot of times people will tag okay, somebody else's. Okay, so on another live, they said that you were basically complaining about your I'm still lost at why you were. Was there a conversation going on? Was there a conversation going on and you were part of the conversation? And they're saying that you complained about a misunderstanding? Because as far as the chat goes, like you said, I didn't see any misunderstandings, really. So I don't know if that means like a misunderstanding about what happened on that particular live while talking about your competition. Yes, I was a part of the conversation on someone else reviewing my... Okay, I got you. Well, that was your competition, though. Hold on, y'all. Okay, I had to check my leg. Felt like something was trying to bite me, y'all. Okay, I don't understand. Your competition, your right to be happy, be mad, or indifferent, to complain. I don't understand. Okay, I got it. I got it. Okay, because I do know that that happened. To me, that was like the biggest thing that happened. Everything else was like positive. Everything else was positive. Everything else, as far as the competition, I don't know about the live that you were part of today, but as far as your competition goes, I didn't see anything that would have made you act that way, even later, somewhere else. Now, the way that had happened, that was, I mean, you have every right to speak about that because you had rules. You know, you had rules for the contestants, excuse me, excuse me, y'all, the contestants, the judges, and the chat, and the mods. The mods, you had rules. And not only rules, you just kind of, let it be known how you wanted things to go. Oh, okay. Okay. I got teary eyed because one of the new judges' feelings were hurt and I felt bad. I got you. I got you. Well, I, you know, I don't know why, but it's like, you know how people say sometimes things just can't go off without a hitch, it just can't go well. Like even the good things have some issue, right? But it doesn't have to be that way. It shouldn't have to be that way. But you know what, Jill? Say for instance, if you had technical difficulties, right? How many times have events happened and people have had technical difficulties? It's like if everything else goes great, nothing else fails, and you have one technical difficulty, and that you maybe clear up in good time, right? Do you know if there's nothing else to talk about, people will talk about that technical difficulty? People will talk about that technical difficulty. That's crazy. That's crazy. If you have an event, um, people will talk about the one technical difficulty. If that's the most that they can talk about, they will. Okay, that was a loud truck, y'all. So it's like even when you have things that go off great. So you said, but overall, I think it was a great. It was. I still haven't gotten the chance to see it like all the way through. But what I went and listened to the ones that I liked the most. Um, But so that was a lot. You know what? While I was doing all that skipping, that was some skipping. It's like it's so funny because when you're watching something, what I realized on social media is like when you're watching something because you don't have time, instead of like skipping through it, you end up going back, forth, and you end up spending an hour or two doing that when you could have just watched it. So what I learned to do is if I'm pushed for time, I put it on 1.5 to 2 times the speed. And then when I got time, like to go to bed or something, I'll let it play at regular speed. Because I'm not sure yet about how YouTube is with that. Like, I don't know if they count the things that you put at twice the speed. I guess they probably count it, but they give you half the watch time or something. So, I that's what I said I'm just gonna start doing. Instead of trying to find spots or find places or trying to get a little bit of something, I'm just gonna just put it on 2 times speed. If it's 2 hours, it'll just take an hour. If it's an hour, it'll take 30 minutes. I think it was I think it was a really good competition. And just keep doing what you're doing. Keep doing them. Keep doing them. Keep doing them. Whether you want to do, and honestly, the more you do, the better they should be. The more you do, the better they should be. So if you just want to do your annual kind of like harvest time, fall time, do that. If you want to do like you did MLK last year, which would be like roughly 3 months apart, do that. If you want to do it like they say, every quarter, every 3 months or biannually, However you want to do it. The more you do, I think they'll become better. I think they'll become better. But it's just that people are always going to have, you know, I don't know. Sometimes it's just like people want to be negative or they want to have something. And I know that's life. Like, I know that's life. I know sometimes we're not going to always agree. And just in a simple disagreement, things can turn bad, things can go wrong, and things can be said that maybe shouldn't be said, or that you say because it's like, shit, they gonna keep saying this to me, so I'm gonna say something to them. And a lot of times people don't understand that. It's like they don't understand it with certain people. If it's somebody they rock with, it's all good. If it's somebody they don't rock with, it's hard, or don't really rock with at all, it's a problem. Just like you, that was your competition. So if you got teary-eyed, that just means you felt emotional about it. Yeah, yep, they'll get better and better. I put it on 125 when watching the replay of Long Lives. I don't like skipping through the lives. Yeah, because now, if it's somebody like that old woman, I'll say that woman. I ain't gonna say that I was listening to today. Something like her, I just skip through it, and I'm only gonna watch it when I know she's about to just really get out of hand. Because sometimes you like to just know how much a person gets out of hand. Because like, it's been people that's done some things, and I'd be like, I ain't even watching that. But then if it wasn't that bad, or if they've like not shown their behavior before, I might watch it. But when I know they're about to talk about somebody that I support, and I mean I truly, genuinely support, then I'll kind of skip through it. But she was live. It was during her live. And the funny part about it is some of her own supporters were telling her she was wrong. Some of her own supporters were telling her that she's wrong. But if it's like a long live, because shoot, y'all, it's only so many hours, 24 hours in a day. And truth be told, we should be sleeping at least 8. We should be sleeping at least 8. It takes you about an hour to get ready for work and about an hour to get home and get kind of sit down from work. That's 9 hours right there. So that leaves what? If you talk about your sleep and you're getting ready for work and getting off, that's what, 10 hours, right? If you talk about your work day, you got to throw in another 8 to 9 hours. That's 18, 19 hours. You only got 5 hours left. You got to get you some you time in. You got to get you some family time in. You got to get you probably the best meal of the day in within that 5 hours. So it's like, I'm kind of like, I don't like listening when I'm eating with my family or eating with my friends or eating, I don't really like just being zoned out and zoned into YouTube or whatever I'm looking at. Whether I'm looking at something on something else, I kind of, sometimes you can find yourself doing that. And then it's like, That's why I can't understand how when people get into it, it's like, boom, they at each other again. Boom, they at each other again. You at work, and they'd had about 3 arguments while you at work. Now, it makes for good entertainment until it's just too much. It makes for good entertainment until it's just too much. And so with this person, today, she was just doing the most. It was too much. She was in a hospital, and she has a family member at the hospital, and I'm like prayers to her family, hoping that she gets well, because that wasn't the time for that. That wasn't the time for that. That was not the time for that. And then the sad thing about it is, it's 2 people she talks about, and when she needs views, it dictates how she talks. Now, the one she was taking up for today, she drags her for filth when she needs views. Okay, and the one she thought she was dragging today until she got a good dragging, she uses her when she needs views. But the thing about it is that lady does not bother her. So that I cannot stand it when people don't bother you. Bothered people bother other people. If you're not bothered, you're not bothering them. And then when they finally do respond, don't say, oh, she was scared of me, or she scared of you for what? She probably about 800 miles from you, maybe 900 miles from you. Scared of you for what? No, some people just don't want to go back and forth as adults, going back and forth. And again, my thing is, if you don't like somebody, Why do you watch people that you don't like? If you don't like a person, why do you watch them? If you can't stand the ground that they walk on, why do you watch them? And their best justification for that, their best justification is they put it on YouTube. I'm like, oh my gosh, do you understand how asinine that sounds? Oh my gosh. Do you understand how asinine that sounds? So even if I was going to watch them, if they aren't addressing me, I'm not going to say anything about, if I was going to talk about them, I'm going to talk about current events. This lady is salty and mad because she got exposed for borrowing money. This lady is, she's salty and she's mad because she got exposed for borrowing money. Now, ain't too many people going to let you borrow money and then allow you to drag them for filth. That's just not going to happen. Jill says, work have been busy and I'm catching up to the sleep I missed while preparing for the competition. So when I get home, I shower and go to bed. Yeah, like I'm telling you, Jill, it's only so many hours in a day. So if you were preparing for a competition and then you want to be on point with your editing, you got to communicate with other people. You work in 8 hours, like I said, at least maybe you take an hour to get ready. An hour after that, that's 10 hours, right? That's just work. So you got 8 out of the other 14 hours for sleep. So what is it? That's 6 hours. I said 5. I don't know how I added up the first time, but anyway, you got 5 to 6 hours. You want to spend time with family. You want to spend time with friends. You got to get your me time. Each and every person on this app should have so much time during the day that they spend for themselves. That me time. I'm slowly trying to catch up on my regular folks I watch. Yeah, you got to have time for that me time. So, and sometimes you fall asleep before you know it. I'm talking about 8. Sometimes you end up with 9 to 10 hours. And if you do that, that just means you needed it. You needed that sleep. That means you needed that sleep. And you got some people, they don't sleep. They don't sleep. It's like they're vampires. They don't sleep. They say they don't participate in this, they don't participate in that, they don't partake in this or that. But when certain things pop off, there they go. There they go. I'm like, whoa. Like I was telling my friend the other day, they probably say, well, if you see them everywhere, then you're everywhere. Probably, yeah, truth be told. If I see them in those places, that means I was in those places. But I bet you I got my sleep. And I bet when I look at it, the comment or the live says 10 hours ago. 10 hours ago. At some point, it's going to say 8 hours ago, 10 hours ago. And then you can go to maybe 10 people you follow. And those people are right there commenting 10 hours ago, 5 hours ago, 2 hours ago, when you're on your lunch break an hour ago. And it's like, damn, I'm just not catching all of this. And I'm seeing this was an hour ago. He or she was there. This was 5 hours ago. So I'm like, I ain't leaving no comments because that's what that makes it look like. Like, do you do anything else? Do you work? When you're at work, are you paying attention? Do you pay attention to your family, your friends, just yourself? Because I can look at something. I saw her. And honestly, I think that was I saw 2 other lives today. Not indeed, not full. But when I went to look back, like you say, you go to catch up and to watch. And even when I do that, I don't watch all of it. It just depends on who it is. I'm gonna watch the people that that support me. I watch them. And so I look, and I'm like, okay, this person did a video 2 hours ago. He or she commented. A totally different person did a video 5 hours ago. He or she commented. I was in the middle of the workday. This is when I'm off, when I get off. 7, 8 hours ago, there he or she is commenting. 10 hours ago, you look at a live chat, they were in that chat. I'm like, when do you sleep? Like, when do you sleep? When do you sleep and when do you work? It makes you not want to comment sometimes. It makes you not want to comment sometimes. So on this thoughtful, thankful Thursday, think Let your thoughts be about the things that you're thankful for. Stop letting your thoughts be about somebody else's life, about somebody else's business. And stop letting the justification be, they put it on YouTube. You got people, you know what? So what? It's a platform. That's what it's for. You have people that want to just have a family channel, right? Any little thing they do, any little thing. Well, if the camera's on, you're going to catch the kids picking their nose. You mean, if the camera's on, you're going to catch a little boy tell his sister, you pass gas. I mean, if the cameras are rolling, they're letting you into 30 minutes, maybe an hour, if they're live, however long they're live. You're going to catch some stuff that's just human interaction. So why does it always have to be you take the one thing that you saw, the little boy, little girl picking their nose, or maybe even that person's husband or picking their nose? Why does it have to be 30, 11, 50, 1,100 people doing a live talking about that family ain't sanitary? I'm like, damn. Okay, I'm like, if y'all could smell through the phone, y'all would like to know what the fart smells like so you can talk about what they had for dinner. Goodness. Okay, they put it on there. But like, some things that get put on there, yeah, people are going to talk about in a bad way. Sometimes, because sometimes you do get people who go on here and come on social media platforms and they do the most. It's like they want to be talked about. And some of them will say, that gets the views, that gets the money. But when you got women like this woman sitting up here with a bonnet on, talking about she's beautiful, well, she has every right to believe and claim that. But how can anybody else see the beauty in you when you are attacking another woman who doesn't care about you at all? Doesn't care about you at all. And just got through dragging your butt. She just got through dragging your butt for filth. For the dirtiest of filth, she did return the favor. So I don't know. It's just sad to see. And a lot of times people say they don't like to see the mess, and you don't like to see the mess. But when there's a ish show, people are going to watch, even if you don't like it. But when it gets to a point where you constantly saying you ain't going to watch it, I mean, like, that's an oxymoron. You're contradicting yourself. Because there are certain things, certain people I don't watch. I don't watch. I don't watch. I don't have to talk about it. I don't have to say, oh, I don't watch her anyway. Knowing darn well that I watched her, that's why there's a conversation. Or I watched him, that's why there's a conversation. And then the sad part is when she got corrected, it was like, y'all must don't watch. Y'all just don't want to hear what I'm saying. Nah, we see exactly what you think you're talking about. But you're adding to it. And she said she based her commentary on facts. How can you say a person didn't have C19? How can you say a person was faking that? How? Doctor know it all but don't know nothing? How can you say that? See, it's the type of stuff like that. Like, how is that a fact that she didn't have C19? No, what's a fact is you asked for them $30. What's a fact is you really did want that woman's husband. You basically have admitted that. What's a fact is she wasn't talking to you. She was talking to somebody else. What's a fact is there are several other people talking about that person, but you won't say a word to them. So just leave people alone. Like, leave people alone, especially people that don't bother you. See, people want to see, a lot of times, people want to see people come out of character. They want to do, there are so many things that they could want to do. They want to, pull that person's channel down by starting a bunch of crap, or put the wrong people, because people are going to follow the crap. So when you starting stuff with people for no reason, you got several things going on. They want the negativities to follow their channel. That channel has had nothing to do with that type of stuff. But just because you see somebody watching drama doesn't mean you got the right to tell them not to be a hypocrite. They can want to carry their platform the way they choose. So when people do that, they're trying to bring your channel down. B, they're trying to lift their channel, grow their channel, and think they're going to use that person to grow their channel. Or C, they just messy as F anyway. And that's just the type of person they are. It's so ridiculous. The main ones that don't want to grow a channel, ain't thinking about monetization, ain't thinking about this, ain't thinking about that, are the main ones that will attempt to use somebody who's not bothering them for content. And then the next thing you know, oh, my channel's doing this, my channel's doing that, my channel. But you weren't concerned with that. Remember? You weren't concerned with that. So in actuality, you were concerned with growing your channel. And you thought that you found some sweet gravy to help you grow your channel by picking on somebody. And some people are already established. Like the content creator she was messing with has more subscribers than her. You know, you hear that one too. I don't care nothing about subscribers. That ain't what pay you the money. But then the next thing you know, I would like to have these many subscribers. The subscribers don't pay you the money. That's why I can't take a person seriously who today they don't care about this and they don't care about that. And then 5 hours later, not even a day later, oh, it's so many this and it's so many that. But then people who speak on wait. Didn't they just say? Then you become a hater. You're a self-hater. Because it was you that changed your own narrative. I didn't change your narrative. I didn't make you want to do one thing today and another totally different thing the next day. You changed your narrative. That lets us know that that's what you wanted all along, but you know the chances are slim of it happening. So it's like you don't care about it. And so this particular lady, she's just trying to get more views. She's not really trying to get more subscribers. She's good on that. Of course she would like them, but her thing is whenever her views are down, she targets the same 2 to 3 people. Whenever her views are down, she targets the same 2 to 3 people. Sometimes she's dragging both of them. Sometimes she's siding with one over the other because see, they don't get along either. So I'm like, what type of elementary, not even elementary, preschool, playground, walking down the hallway kind of mess is this? So basically you got 3 parties and only one of them standing on business. And I mean, that's just truth be told. The other ones who talk they trash about her, they just doing that because, you know, some people love drama. Some people love mess. Some people just love it. They love it. That's what they log on for. If everybody was kind of kumbaya and nobody was saying anything for like a week, you got some of these subscribers who would make up a lie or throw out a lie just to see if they could get something kicked off. And I'm like, this lady don't even, y'all had y'all falling out, yada, yada, yada. This was like 4 years ago. You still talking about that. That's the most you bringing to the table today. Something from 4 years ago. And I know some people have memories like elephants. But if you wouldn't be friends with her. If she couldn't be your friend, guess what? She ain't looking to be your friend anyway. This person ain't looking to be your friend anyway. Sometimes people put themselves on that pedestal. And I promise you, nobody's trying to knock you off that pedestal. Nobody's trying to knock you off that pedestal that you put yourself on. Now, if she had been saying, I don't want to talk about her, y'all. Why y'all trying to make me talk about her? And then the chat had said, oh, so now you uppity, you don't want to do this or do that. Then that would be on the chat. She came in guns a-blazing for no reason. Just going in for no reason. And sometimes if you watch somebody, a lot of times you can tell when it's the chat. You know, if you watched enough to know that person may be referencing you, you know, before even saying something, sometimes just look at the chat and read the room. Read the chat. Sometimes it's the chat. And you don't have to bite the bait if it's the chat. But when it's you, when they're referencing you and you know it, then have at it. Do you. Do you. When it's you they're talking about? Because like people say, the subliminals. The subliminals don't be subliminal, okay? Now sometimes the subliminals do. The subliminals can be, it can be a subliminal, but it doesn't mean that it was meant for you. It's so funny how sometimes people put themselves in a situation that the content creator has not put them in. You be like, girl, I ain't thinking about you. This is a whole different situation. This is a whole different situation. This ain't got nothing to do with you. So when they say hit dogs holler, and that's true. But sometimes the hit dog is hollering, and the rock wasn't even thrown at them. It's just that they know they have a situation or an issue with that person. You know how many people on this app? How many people are on this app? And they love to say, hit dogs holler. Somebody can fall out with you today, and y'all can go back and forth. They can get up later on tonight and make a subliminal post. Why does that mean it has to be about you? Yeah, you're going to feel a type of way, but you may not even know wherever else that person goes. You might not even know whoever else they're interacting with. It don't have to be about you. Now, if it's explicit and it's totally directed in a certain way you can read, yeah. Hey, Shawanda. What's going on, Shawanda? Welcome into the chat. How you doing? So if it's like directed at you and you know it's directed at you, they just didn't put a name on it, but you know what happened between the two of you happened or whatever, then yeah, you got your right to respond to it. You got your right to say something. But nobody got time to keep going back and forth, this week, next month. It's Thanksgiving. It's Christmas. It's New Year's. And then it's quiet for like 3 or 4 months. Then next fall, they talking about that stuff that happened last winter. I'm like, what is, like, leave it alone. That person don't like you. You don't like them. If you keep their name out of your mouth, they probably gonna keep your name out of their mouth. Jill says, hey, Sharonda. Sharonda says, I'm doing good today. How are you doing today? Sharonda, I'm doing good, girl. We're just talking about this bonnet-wearing woman on the live today, just dragging somebody. For nothing. But that is funny to me, how people real funny about the fights that they choose to indulge in. If they think you quiet or you innocent or because you like positivity, they think you meek. They'll try you. If they think it's sweet with you, they'll try you. And you ain't got to keep going on and on with them, but just let them know it ain't sweet with you. And just let them know it ain't sweet with you, but you don't choose to continue this long time engagement of going back and forth with them, acting a fool with them. But some people just don't want to let go. Like, this lady will not let go. The content creator she was dragging, talking about, she don't even mention her. When she does mention her, it's a response to her. It's a response to something she said. I don't know why people feel like they have the right to just pick a person to just beat on. Just beat on. And think they ain't gonna get up at some point. It's crazy. But opinions are not facts. Now that's a fact, that opinions are not facts. I think sometimes some people need to realize that just because you feel it deep in your soul, just because that's how you feel, it's not a fact. It's not a fact. Ain't nowhere in the world I'm gonna speak on what somebody is doing with their husband or how much the family likes or dislikes them. What event were you at? I've seen family events where I'm just a guest and I'm looking and family get into it. Okay? Family get into it. Have it out. I might even hear other family members saying they don't ever get along. But is that my business or my place? And I might be right there witnessing it. But is that my business or my place to come and say, oh, they don't get along with them, that she just married them for clout? With some of these words, I wish they would just flush them down the toilet. Because some of these words that these younger people come up with, let me tell y'all something. When these older people get their hands on them, they don't know how to let them go. If I hear that word clout, oh my gosh, I'd be like, can you just flush that down the toilet? Can you come up with something new? Jeez. And then the words that are in the dictionary that some people just never chose to use, they'll grab one of those, and there you go. You'll hear it so much throughout the day, every day, once they get started on it. And you be like, can they just please just take that word, just put it back in the dictionary. Just put it back in its spot, because y'all done beat that word down. Y'all done beat that word up and down. Y'all have beat that word up, down, all around. Some of the phrases, oh my gosh, if it comes out in music, or if they hear their kids say it, and I'd be like, okay, they're cute for a while, but once they start to become, it's like their whole conversation is like made up of words that you have to interpret, like words that you have to interpret. English words. It's the English language, but you still have to interpret what they're saying. That's crazy. It's crazy to have to interpret some of this stuff. It's not Spanish. It's not French. It's not Swahili. It's English. But you got to interpret it from a bunch of full-grown adults. Y'all, the weather is so nice. It is like 80-something degrees, and it's not really even windy, but it's overcast. It's cloudy, and it's just like, y'all hear the birds? I know y'all hear those birds, but it's still nice. It's the kind of weather that makes you slow down when you're walking. Like, it just feels so good outside. There's a light breeze starting, a light breeze. So y'all get outside and enjoy the fall weather, okay? It's probably the time where it's the least hot and the least cold. Because I'm telling you, in the spring, sometimes spring feels like a mini summer. So fall is that time where it's not too hot, it's not too cold. Get outside, go to some weddings. You know, a lot of people have their weddings during the fall because it's not hot. And some people that just want a spring wedding. So some people have those spring weddings because they just love the pretty flowers, just the ideas of it. But look, get outside, okay? If you come across this live replay, and to those who come across the replay, whether you watch a few seconds, a few minutes, or the whole thing, I appreciate you. As much as I appreciate Jill, Shawanda, and that was it. That was all. It was Jill and Shawanda. Nobody else said anything today. But as much as I appreciate them for being in the chat, I appreciate them that'll see any part of it. And thank you guys for being in here, Jill and Shawanda, because I'm sure, like Jill said, she's editing, she's multitasking, and I know Shawanda, look, I know Shawanda has been called the best mod on these YouTube streets by several content creators. So thank you guys for coming in here, spending some time with me today. I appreciate you. I definitely appreciate you. And so, oh, the birds cutting up, y'all. Y'all hear them? They were kind of quiet yesterday. But get outside. Put the phone down, put the tablet down, shut the computer down, close the laptop. Of course, I always get a phone call either right when I start or right when I'm about to end. Y'all, close the laptop, okay? And quit worrying about somebody else's husband, somebody else's wife. Had to turn it down. That was music, y'all. Quit worrying about what they eat or who cooks or who doesn't cook. Quit worrying about how much money they have. Quit worrying about why somebody married somebody. If they married them for money, guess what? That's their business. And you sitting there talking about it and you aren't married. So why are you worried about it? Why are you worried about it? Quit interfering in business that's not your business. You got one woman out here attacking another woman, slick talking about a woman, and this other lady chooses to respond how she does. So that's their business. That's between them. Nobody needs to, and if you want to do commentary on them going back and forth, that's one thing, but nobody has the right to just say, oh, she's bullying this person, unless that person is bullying. Unless that person is bullying. A lot of times, a person will just jump into something because they don't know what's going on. Sometimes people are out here being bullied, and they don't say a word. You know, they won't say a word to those who are really bullying people. People are out here bullying people. I mean, lots of people on one person, on two people, but they love to hit that one person, and then and nobody will say a word. But then you got somebody who knows that's not what's going on. They know it's just a back and forth, and then wants to try to say something. Y'all, people, leave people. Look, bother people, okay? So don't let bother people bother you. I'm about to get out of here. Don't let people stress you out, okay? And if you find yourself in a misery lounge, GYGAG, grab your grip and go, all right? And y'all know what it is. I asked you to get up, and I motivated you guys to get up and move earlier, but I'm going to tell you and remind you to always stretch before and after. And if you need to, stretch during. Before, during, and after, okay? Because when you're doing those stretches, what are you doing? During your warm-up, you're getting those muscles and joints ready to work, right? So you do think of the word radar. R is your stretch. You're stretching, getting those joints and muscles ready to work. A is the warm-up. You're doing some light cardio, getting that heart ready for the heavy cardio. D is your workout. You're full throttle, okay? The other A, you're cooling down, getting that heart rate back down to resting heart rate, back to normal, okay? And over time, even though your heart rate has to get up when you're exercising, over time, it helps to improve your resting heart rate and keeps it from 80 to 100, which is pretty much what's generally considered normal for most individuals. Now, if you're an athlete, your heart rate may be 60 because it has been conditioned. You train, you know, that's great. But for those who just kind of just do the day-to-day things, you know, working out, getting that heart rate up there helps to get that resting heart rate where it needs to be when you're just kind of chilling and resting at home. So stretch before, you want to start with stretching, you want to end with stretching. Stretching helps to get those muscles and those joints ready to work. And also just stretch at any point throughout the day to kind of release some of that lactic acid. Okay, that lactic acid. Y'all know we don't go into great detail over here because what? YouTube does not give licenses, certifications, or educate, right? Right? So we do not what? Over here in Lions Pride, we do not suggest you do anything without contacting your primary healthcare provider first, okay? Whether it's starting, restarting, or even stopping an exercise plan, program, routine, or system, okay? Now, most every doctor's gonna tell you to move. You know, your legs, your arms, whatever it is, you can move. But you also wanna be aware, you wanna listen to your body. Okay, you want to take your any situations that you have going on, your health situation, you want to take those things into consideration. So if you want to start before your next appointment, do so, but start lightly. And guess what? When you go in and he says, "What's up? What you been up to?" If you say, "I've been starting some light exercise," he's probably going to be happy with you. He's probably going to be happy with you. Okay. But before you go into that strenuous exercise mode, let them know, so that they can help you or they can send you to people that can help you. Yes, dear. Thank you, thank you, thank you, everyone, for joining the live. You guys have a blessed evening. Okay, and remember, take care of yourself. I know we put family first, but we gotta take care of ourselves in order to do what? To take care of family and friends, right? Right. So get your 30 minutes of exercise. Keep moving, keep moving, keep moving. Be consistent and be persistent about it. Get your 30 minutes in, and not only that, get you another 30 minutes of just some good old me time. Me time. So that's a good hour out of that 24 hours that we were talking about, right? When we said you work about 8, takes you about 2 to get ready, that's 10. You sleep about 8, that's 18. You got 6 left. Take that hour first for you, right? Then the other 5 for your family, and just let that social media happen when it happens, okay? Let it happen when it happens. It's gonna be there. It's gonna be there. I promise you. The social media will be there. So you just take care of you and yours, your mental, your physical, your spiritual, your emotional. And when you walk and when you do any exercise, yes, it's for your fitness, right? It may be you're trying to lose weight, but use that as a time to get your mental, emotional, and spiritual healthy as well. So thank you guys. I appreciate you. And like Jill said, thank you for joining the live. I wish you guys peace, positivity, and prosperity. Okay? And you can address things without going too far. You can address things without being nasty and ugly. But look, don't let bother people bother you. You do what you got to do. Okay? Do what you got to do when you got to do it. And don't care who cares about it. Especially when you know that's not you. And you don't do, you know what I'm saying? You don't run amok out here. So you know you don't run amok. Don't let anybody run amok on you. All right? And that's in life. That's at work. That's at church. That's at Walmart. Bye, y'all.